Hello, I'm Dr. John McDougall. Welcome to the series Star McDougallers in Their Own Words. I have the pleasure of sharing with you the story of Mary Duffield. She's been through a lot, but once she understood the truth, she got her health under control.
Well, I had to work at my weight all through high school. I gained weight very easily. And then after that, probably after I was married, I went over to Germany. My first husband, was in the Army. Went to Germany and lived on German food. And it was great, but I came home about 40 pounds heavier than when I left. And from then on, it was just a battle. Probably have been on every diet you can imagine, hypnosis, acupuncture, acupressure, every single thing you can think of. Weight Watchers was the only one that was reasonably successful for me, but I could not keep the weight off. I'm a lifetime member, but have never been back down to goal weight. And probably on Atkins quite a bit of my later time in life. And then I went on Protein Power, and that's when I really started getting into trouble. At that point, I was being treated for high blood pressure, and nothing was working. I was still on the Protein Power. My bones were beginning with the bone scans. They were starting to show the beginning of osteoporosis, and my mother had severe osteoporosis. That scared me. Also, after one of my surgeries, or the only surgery I had, I ended up with blood clots in my leg. And they put me in the hospital, scared the death out of me. My blood pressure was at the highest it had ever been. My weight was at the highest it had ever been. And that's when I was introduced through my husband, through Sue Wallen. Just a chance meeting at a lunch. He liked what she was eating. He asked her questions. He came home and told me about it. And my reaction was, I can't do that. I love meat and cheese. And I said, where am I going to get my protein? Typical what I hear now all the time from people. And it took me another month of thinking about it and getting into worse trouble, because at that point they were adding the fourth blood pressure medication, and it wasn't doing anything. Before I started, I read every single book you'd written, and I looked at every single DVD, and then I took the 12-day program, and I started on it religiously. And I've been on it ever since. We're going into the 6th year. The highest blood pressure was 215 over 104. And that's when they hospitalized me because I had the blood clot in my leg. And the meal they fed me, I couldn't believe it. After being on the McDougall program, the meal they fed me was totally in the opposite direction. And here I am there for high blood pressure and blood clots. The weight probably was almost close to 190. Now I feel great. I've been on the program going on 6 years. The weight's come down. I'd still like to lose a little more, but the weight has come down significantly in the first 10 days of being on the food program religiously. The doctor that I was dealing with then had already dropped one of the blood pressure medications, and each month another one went off the list. Now I'm on no blood pressure medications per se. I'm on a thyroid medication, which has stabilized my thyroid. But other than that, I'm medication free. I have more energy than I've ever had. The first 10 days, my husband noticed that, my energy was coming back. We do a lot of country western dancing, and I can dance for hours, no problem. And it's just like the energy I had in high school. It came back. I have more energy sometimes than my own kids, which is pretty neat. The weight is stabilized. I've never been able to do this before in my life. I've always been the up and down yo-yo dieter. And with this, it's a lifestyle change. And so this is just the way I eat. And the weight has slowly come off. I noticed at the beginning the weight didn't come off as fast as maybe I wanted, but the inches came off. The pant size went down quicker than the weight size. So that was encouraging. And I have plateaus. I've been on a plateau now for 2-3 years. But that's, to me, success, because in the past there was no plateaus. I'd lose the weight and then it'd go right back up. As soon as you go off the diet and started eating the standard American diet, I was right back where I was. I hadn't learned anything. With this, it's a learning process, and the weight stays off. It's wonderful. I eat when I'm hungry, and I eat as much as I want within the limits of the program. I shouldn't say limits, the boundaries. The way I went at it is I wasn't getting help from the doctors. I had to do something. I had to take control of myself and take responsibility for my own actions. After that, then I looked at the program, the 10-day program. I said, I can do anything for 10 days. Okay, I have been on a grapefruit diet. I've been on cabbage soup diets. I've been on hard-boiled egg diets. If I could stand those, I could stand anything for 10 days. So I was going to give it a fair try for 10 days, do everything it said. But I saw such results in those 10 days, just going cold turkey, not just integrating, but going cold turkey. That was the encouragement that kept me going. And now I look back, and the way I feel is I don't want to trade that for anything. I don't want to go back to the pills and the doctors and feeling tired and sick and fat. I like the way I feel now, so that's the motivation. Maybe it's a fear. I don't know, but I just feel good and I don't want to change. So I found my answer, and it's healthy, and I feel great.
You couldn't fault Mary for any lack of trying. I mean, through her whole life, she tried everything. She tried the Atkins diet. She tried the protein power diet. She tried exercise. She tried everything. And she also observed what happened to her. Yeah, maybe she lost a few pounds, but she didn't feel well. She could see things getting worse with her blood pressure and her bones, so she knew that she hadn't found the right answer. And she finally did. She found the right answer in terms of the food. That's the secret. It's the food. And so once she switched from the American diet and all these fad diets and got on a diet that people eat who are trim. I mean, think about it. Look around the world. If I gave you a globe and I said, look at all the different countries and populations around the world, and you pick people who are trim, young, and healthy looking, where would your finger go? Oh, probably to the Asians. Start out with, you'd say, hey, look, they're trim, healthy people, and they live on rice and vegetables in China, Thailand, Japan. And I'd say, well, try another spot. You'd go around, you'd say, well, how about in Peru? Those people, they live on potatoes. And in the Middle East, they live on chickpeas and rice. And then we could talk about what happens when these people who live on starch-based diets learn the rich Western diet. They get fat and sick. Consistently, they get fat and sick. And one of the sicknesses that Mary had is she had high blood pressure. High blood pressure is common. In fact, maybe as many as half the people who are adults in Western countries have elevated blood pressure. Blood pressure too high for good health. It indicates that the body is not as healthy as it should be. Now, the problem is not the high blood pressure. The high blood pressure is a sign of the problem. What it is a sign of is a sick cardiovascular system. The blood vessels, they get all plugged up. They go into spasm. The blood sludges in the blood vessel system. And as a consequence, it's hard to pump blood throughout the body to the tissues. The heart has a difficult job because of all this resistance caused by what we eat. Clogging the arteries, causing them to go into spasm, sludging the blood, all this resistance. So what does the heart do? It does what it's supposed to do. It increases the pressure so it can deliver to the tissues. It's responding properly, so your blood pressure goes up. So what do as doctors? We take a bunch of pills, and we give pills that paralyze the system in various places and make the pressure go down. For example, we give beta blockers, which paralyze the heart muscle and make it weak. Pressure goes down. We give calcium channel blockers, which paralyze the blood vessels, and the pressure goes down. We give diuretics that paralyze the kidneys and squirt out the water, and the pressure goes down. But nobody has done anything important to make the blood vessels healthy and the circulation more free, have they? And that's why the benefits from making the pressure go down with all these pills are so small. Now, there's an option for you. Mary took that option, and you should consider it too. She was able to fix the weight, her activity, her bones, and her blood pressure by doing the same thing. And that is, get on a diet that makes the arteries healthy, and the tissues healthy, and the bones healthy. A diet based on starches, vegetables, and fruits. Get some activity. The best medicine is something that's free, something that you can administer, self-administered, self-control. no side effects. That's your food. And Mary Duffield certainly showed us the power of that kind of medicine.